Welcome, sir. I welcome you to our land, America. We are soon to be...
well, there was a border when I came, John.
When was the last time you checked Twitter? So you've really involved yourself in... I remember you from 2008, and I mean this. Your work in helping Canada get through the economic crisis of 2008, the financial crisis that hit this country terribly, and I thought made a lot of really painful decisions for the people of this country. I thought Canada avoided the worst of that. And I believe you played a very strong role in that.
We did. I mean, thank you. We did.
You're so,
but we did because we didn't do things that we didn't understand. So we didn't let our banks do things that they didn't understand just because all the other banks were doing them. So subprime, CDO squared, really, fancy derivatives.
You're saying you thought, let's not let the banks dissolve mortgages into particulate matter, mix it into cups,
throw it off,
throw it in the air, and then sell that.
Well, throw it in the air, take a big profit, pay themselves a lot of money,
yes,
and then it hits the ground.
How did you not have to do that?
We didn't understand it, John.
Son of a bitch!
We didn't understand it.
That's all it took.
That's all it took.
So you've gone off now and you've worked with Brexit and the Bank of England trying to ease that.
On my idea.
Brexit wasn't.
Yeah.
No, you're Canadian. You're very polite, very nice. You're never one of those like, I want to leave a union. No, you stay in it until it dies. What are they making up there of the overtures and sort of trolling to Canada about being a part of the United States?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is not going to happen. The overture. I mean,
because you don't want
well,
to be with.
We're proud. We find you very attractive, but we're not moving in with you. It's not you. It's us. We do things a little differently in Canada. We believe in.
I just want to,
providing...
before you go any further,
Yeah.
I'm up for it. We're up for it. Whatever you do differently. We want to experiment too. What do you guys want?
We can be.
You want like.
We can be friends. There can be a few benefits, John. Friends with benefits, but not. We're not going to commit all the way. Benefits of trade, benefits of defense.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we'll be cool about it. We won't levy tariffs on all your goods as retribution for you not going out with us. We respect your boundaries. Is there a fear now that there will be an economic trade war with Canada? How much of this do you believe is bluster, and how much preparation do you need to do for it?
Well, we have to prepare for it. And I think, you look at what happened 5-6 years ago when we did have a similar situation with the trade war.
But that was only on lumber, and there was only a few things.
Lumber's very important to us, John. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right?
Why do I feel like I feel like you're breaking up with me the entire interview?
We're resetting the relationship, and we're going to be stronger. We're going to be stronger going forward because, as you say,
I'm just getting
boundaries.
Swiped left hard as hell here. Do you think this time, look, I don't know that Americans know that 50% of, our fuel comes from Canada.
Yeah, the electricity for this show comes from Canada.
Not this show.
You got some solar up on the.
Ours only comes from Venezuela. We're that leftist. It's that bad.
Well, that brings a point. 4.5 million barrels, a little more than that, of oil come from Canada to the United States. And if you don't take that oil, the way your refineries are, your other option is Venezuela.
No, so that's. It's funny you bring that up. We're taking them over as well.
Okay.
Are you surprised at, is America generally, I think we've always been known as we like to live our values and speak them. it feels like this administration is going to be more explicit about what's really happening. Hey, what's up, Greenland? I don't know if you know this, but you have something under your soil that we want, so you're ours. You know, I feel like past administrations would do the same thing, but they would be like, and we're liberating you. Like, they would make it a high-minded affair.
Yeah.
Is it easier to deal with someone that is transactional at his core in that way? Take your time.
Yeah, I'm going to take my time. No, I think in the end, it's not. Because in the end, in a relationship, I'm going to keep the relationship
Oh my
thing.
God.
If we're going to build...
Did you just get out of therapy? What is happening? I feel like every time I say something, you're like, I hear you.
I hear you. I made a few resolutions this year, John, and it was still in January. But you've got to have some shared values. You've got to be able to predict how the other's going to behave. So it's not just a series of transactions.
Right.
Look, we can do a series of transactions. We're fine. We're in a strong position. You want to do a series of deals? We can do that.
Yeah.
What's much better is to look at everything we've had, John, together. And if we could just build on it.
You were just about to lean into like, look, man, if it's late and you're drunk, you can call us. It's cool.
Yeah,
but I would rather we mean something to each other.
Yeah.
So that we get something out of this together.
Yeah, like Sunday afternoon in the park.
That's what I'm talking about. So right now there is turmoil. Trudeau has resigned.
Yes.
There will be new elections. Do you know when the new elections are?
They have to be by October.
Okay.
They could come sooner.
Sooner than October?
Sooner than October, yes.
What would be the trigger of the election sooner?
Well, it would be likely the choice of the current governing party, which is the Liberal Party.
And you are of the Liberal Party?
I am of the Liberal Party, yes.
Are they looking for a new leader?
I think they might be, John.
Sir, may I recommend to you, with your charm and debonair wit, yet strong financial backbone, that you offer yourself have you offered yourself as leader?
I just started thinking about it when you brought it up.
Just now?
Yeah, just now.
Because here's what the Conservatives have, and this will blow your mind. So the Conservatives are run by Pierre Poilievre.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
It's a fictional J.K. Rowling name at best. Pierre Poilievre. This always fascinates me. I want to show this. So Trudeau, obviously. The other guy is Pierre Poilievre. It looks like, and he is Trudeau's rival, yes? They look like two fictional boys' school rivals in Poilievre seems like a villain in a Karate Kid movie. Like there's something very, very off-putting. What is he like in person?
Karate.
Take your time.
You're not far off. I'll say this.
Yes.
There is a type of politician. You have a few of them here in the United States. I think we just
Stop it.
Yeah. They had a lot in and around Brexit.
Yes.
And we have Mr. Poilievre. In Canada, a type of politician who's, tend to be a lifelong politician.
Really?
Tend to worship the market. They've never actually worked in the private sector.
Right.
And they see opportunity in tragedy, like you just had with the California fires, these horrible fires.
Correct.
And they see opportunity in tragedy to push an agenda that, here's one they prepared earlier,
right.
and they fit it in. And so whether it was Brexit, here often, the starve the beast type approach. So Pierre Poilievre, when COVID started, his reaction was, this is a good time to cut spending and cut taxes. Everyone's just been pushed out of a job. Nobody's got work, so let's cut the taxes on the work they don't have, and let's take away the social safety net when everybody's vulnerable.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did that work out for you? Were people out of their
fortunately,
home?
he was in opposition, so.
Oh, that was his idea.
That was his idea. Yeah.
And the people now see the headwinds for this more right-wing populism, though, are all around the world, and it feels like Canada is no different there. I mean, Did Trudeau bow out because he knew he wouldn't win? Is this an attempt to give the Liberal Party there a chance?
I think it does give the Liberal Party a chance, yes.
Right. And he did that purposefully.
He came to that. Yeah, he came to that conclusion.
He came to that conclusion, or Nancy Pelosi called him and said,
It was somewhere in the middle.
Satirical comedy shows up there did a bit that made fun of him for 5 minutes, and he fell apart. Who are the top contenders right now that you believe give the Liberal Party the best chance? Poilievre is going to be their champion, yes?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Who would give the best opportunity?
Well, I think in a situation like this, you need change. You need to address the economy. We've got an economic crisis because of what Mr. Trump is about to do, or saying he's about to do. But we also have challenges in housing, cost of living.
Did you have the same inflationary pressures that we faced here?
I can debate the absolute level, but we had the same inflationary pressures, Bob.
No, we will debate the absolute level right
well,
here
I don't think,
and right now.
I think Canadians been very hard pressed in the last few years.
Right.
Wages have not kept up with inflation. People are falling behind, not getting ahead. Housing's very expensive, and there's this broader concern. Again, exclamation point put on by the Trump tariffs about what the future brings. The world's more divided. It's more dangerous. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do? And truth be told, the government has been not as focused on those issues as it could be. We need to focus on them immediately. That can happen now, and that's what this election is going to be about.
Can I tell you something? I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. We just had that election.
Yeah.
Run. And when I say run, I mean not for office. I mean run the other way. It's so hard. It's when the headwinds are like that, it's really difficult for a candidate to come in who is saddled with the policies that are
But let's say.
Oh boy.
Let's say, just throwing out a
Look
wild...
at you trying to preserve the relationship all of a sudden.
A wild hypothetical. Let's say the candidate wasn't part of the government. Let's say the candidate did have a lot of economic experience. Let's say the candidate did deal with crises. Let's say the candidate had a plan to deal with the challenges in the here and now.
Sneaky. You're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
Wow, that's all. So you're going to be coming in there to say, I have not been in the government. I have worked in the financial markets. I understand all the things that go around trade. I mean, you worked. Look, let's take the California fires. You've done an awful lot with the banks, with insurance industries. So you understand very particularly what's happening out there in California.
Very particularly. I mean, 10 years ago, Governor of the Bank of England, you oversee the Lloyd's of London, which does all the insurance for exactly this type of stuff. Mm-hmm. 10 years ago, they're saying there's going to be a lot more fires. So we're going to have a lot less insurance. A lot less insurance, as we've seen, unfortunately, in California. And it's an absolute tragedy with people going through. A lot less insurance. A place like Canada. Last year, you may have noticed, here in New York, we had a few fires in Canada.
Yes. I was going to talk to you about that later.
The fires in Canada, including where I was born, my hometown, Fort Smith, Northwest Territories, around where I grew up in Alberta. These fires...
Hold on 1 second. Really?
Small town.
Literally from Alberta, and they've probably been sleeping the whole time they heard the name. Woo! Woo! Is the bus going to Alberta? What are we doing here?
But
you got the fires.
We got the fires. John.
Yeah.
If the fires alone would have made Canada the fourth largest emitter in the world after the United States, China, and India.
Just the fires?
Just the fires alone. And this, you could see this coming 10 years ago as the insurance companies, and now we're dealing with this, which is why we need to act more broadly on the issue of
through climate and everything else. Let me ask you a question about this, because this speaks to what these Republican politicians are saying. They keep saying, oh, this DEI, Lloyd's of London, insurance companies.
Yeah.
10 years ago, they make risk assessments and they change policies. Did they change those policies because they assess the risk of lesbians being in the firefighting department? Or did they go, climate change is happening and these fires are going to be more damaging and they're going to happen more frequently, and so we're going to be changing our rates and we're going to be dropping policies? Which one did they go with?
Very decidedly the second. And what they have seen is the number of these extreme events that they insure. Remember, they're pulling back insurance from, you can't get insurance in many coastal areas in Florida.
Not.
You can't get insurance, obviously, in Los Angeles. So they've been pulling back, and still, even with all that sophistication, the number of these extreme weather events that they insure have gone up 3 times, and the cost of it has gone up 5 times.
Right.
So they are furiously backpedaling.
And this gets us to the rub, which I think is why I feel like we're in such a vice when it comes to climate change and political feasibility and what can we reasonably expect people's virtue to accomplish. You've championed with the banking industry, ESG projects, you've championed climate projects. As soon as these big banks got a hold that Donald Trump was going to be back in office, they all bailed. They all bailed on all these commitments that they made, and you're left in some ways holding the carbon tax bag. Is that going to make your running more difficult?
Wow, you packed a lot into that.
I did.
Jon.
Can I tell you something? I read your Wikipedia page.
Remind me to edit it later on. 2 things. One, what the banks, and it's only the American banks, but what they decided to do, is to focus.
I didn't know there were other banks, but go ahead.
Focus on financing. But in terms of, for Canada, what we need to do is make sure that we're addressing these issues, doing our bit, making our companies more competitive, because you know what's going to happen in the United States? 5 years from now, you're going to care about it again. Right? You're going to have an election, you're going to care about it again. And we better be in a position where we've done our bit at that point. But we need to do it in a way that Canadians today are not paying the price.
Right. Now, how do you do that? That's the rub. How do you make proactive measures on future disasters feasible in a political moment today? Every time I've seen a gas tax or a carbon tax floated, it's not politically feasible. So
the vast majority of our emissions in Canada come from our industry. In fact, almost 30% of our emissions from Canada come from the production and shipment of oil to the United States.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, yeah. So part of it is cleaning that up, getting those emissions down, more than changing in a very short period of time the way Canadians live.
Right, but you're not obviously going to take away our oil. You're gonna.
We'd like to take. Well, you don't apparently want the oil as much as you used to.
We want it very badly. Have you decided to run yet? Because a lot of people in the Liberal Party in Canada have said specifically they will not run. I think they fear the headwinds in this election. Well, have you decided?
Can I say one thing on that?
Please.
I want to defend because this is a very important point. So if you look at our foreign minister, Mélanie Joly, our finance minister, Dominic LeBlanc, Steve McKinnon, who's our labor minister, they are not running, in part because there's a crisis right now because of the threat of the Trump tariffs. So
they're saying I won't run because I want to focus on.
They're country before party and personal ambition, and it's absolutely
right. So, but do you say?
Well, I don't have a job. I don't have a job.
Yeah. You don't have a job presently.
No, I do, but it's UN
You're
dollar a day.
You're being so coy with me. I love the chase. I love this cat and mouse.
Well, we had to shake things up.
We are having we've spiced up our relationship tremendously throughout this interview. So, congratulations on announcing on this program that you are running to be the leader. We seal it with a handshake. Mark Carney.